What's going on, everybody? This is Kenny Kamz. It is October 14th, 2024, and this is The Black Show. What's good, y'all? I hope everybody has a great start to their week. I took the weekend off. I think maybe even Friday too. I had some business stuff I had to take care of and some stuff I had to take care of, but really I just wanted to step back from the podcast for a second in general. I feel like these last couple weeks, especially with that studio stuff, it was going down a path where like I was talking about like my stuff and like that's not really what this was intended to be. Like I realized that a lot of those people, I guess, and this was talking to my sister, my moms, and like my cousins and all them. Like a lot of people in the city, especially with me, they they don't really want me to be the one to do it. I get why. I won't get too much into that because it's a lot of like internal stuff with other people, and they have compared themselves to me for a long time. And I don't know why, because I on the truly on the surface don't think I've done anything spectacular. I think I'm super accomplished, but I don't think I'm special. And it's interesting over this last like pretty much since I left Point, uh, after the New Orleans trip a little bit, but for sure after the Sedona trip, I realized what happened. And that's why I took a step back this weekend. It was a lot of people that thought I was a failure, that thought I was bullshitting, that thought none of this was real, that thought it was a character and it's an act, and like, oh no, he ain't really like that. He just doing that for some other good. And I realized what that was. Like, I used to internalize that shit until I realized it had nothing to do with me. Um, that's most of the time, most often, that's the other people's insecurities about why they are doing things. And so what I would do is I would put that as it was like an actual thing. And I had a talk with somebody last week that I was like, hey, no hard feelings. I love you, but this is how it's gonna go. If you continue to assume that I'm on negative stuff or assume that like it's something behind it or sketchy, I'm just gonna be done dealing with you permanently. And that's not like to because I'm upset. It's because it's a waste of my time. Um, in a lot of the situations I've had recently, specifically when I started kind of shifting my mindset from this, and I think it's that gap of like going from being too empathetic to like having boundaries. And I've ran into a lot of different personality types. Like Dog from the Studio was no different than my ex, no different than that nigga that played football with me at Riverside. Like it's a spirit. And what that spirit is that spirit is trying to convince you that you're not who you are or you're not capable of what you're capable. It was a couple things that I seen or I heard in from specific, and that's why I know it's not the person, it's the spirit. Because they repeat stuff and they repeat it, and it's trying to get it stuck in your brain. Like at this point, if you don't understand we're in a spiritual battle, you're way, way behind. Like you're in remedial classes. And that's it just is that. And those people that don't want to acknowledge that, it's the reason why they don't want to acknowledge that. The reason the people that don't want to acknowledge that we're in a spiritual battle is because they have their daily actions and behaviors are on the negative side. So if they acknowledge that it's actually happening, then they have to change their behavior. That's what I realize there's a lot of people that do that in their everyday life. Like it's interesting. I've been noticeably stayed away from this election stuff because I don't care. It's two bad candidates. It's a bad system. It's just something that I have to be under because I'm physically in this location. That's the only thing I look at it. Like I have to abide by the laws. Like they said, like give the Pharaoh what is Pharaoh's. Like I'm not gonna fight a system that's wanting me to fight it so that they can charge me with fighting it. So what I do is I just sit back and I mind my business. So this is a thing that I've learned. Now, I do think it would apply to voting and a lot of other stuff, but it's at a level that like I don't think people could actually do it, or would actually do it. detach. I detach from everything, everything, material wise, everything. Like all of this could go away today, and I'd be completely fine going about my life. And I think opening that studio was the final attempt to like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Are these the people I'm supposed to be helping? Is this the community that I'm supposed to be like spearheading change on? No, it's not. Um, and that's the conclusion that studio get. That's why I say it wasn't like a negative that the studio closed for me. It was actually a positive because it was a investment that was a bad investment, which happens. That's how investment goes. But I've learned not to invest in people that don't have um, morals or character, and it shows. It shows. I'm very quiet around people that I don't know. I'm very observant around people I don't know because I'm trying to see what your intentions are. Um, and it's funny because a lot of people think they're very, very smart in general, or like they're very sneaky. Like it's not. People have just been giving you a pass because they feel bad for you for most of your life. That's what happens with females a lot. Like I've noticed, and I even checked out from watching like the social medias, like any of those dating shows and stuff like that, because it's just brain rot and it's stupid. Fresh and fit, that white guy, even to a point. So I get what Kevin Samuels was doing, but even to a point with Kevin Samuels, was like it's dumb. So I went to go get some like all natural supplements from from one of the homegirls, right? That makes them. And it was something that she said, and I think my reaction to it like kind of threw her off because she was like, "Well, you know, they always talk about these high value male." I'm like, I'm not no fucking high value male. I don't want to be. I'm Kenny. Like, if you're striving to be a high value male, like it was this podcast or this panel that like I saw the clips for, and it was Andrew Andrew been shredding them cats. That's the one white dude from that one white guy's podcast. He went on Tim Pool and shredded Tim Pool. He went on this, and so they was talking about it. The dude was like, the goal is to. It was like a big buff dude. Like the goal is to be better than everybody at everything else. I'm like, fam, you are so insecure, and it's on the surface. Like that's the part where I realize is the people that move like that, they don't have self awareness, and I try to check myself on that too. Like daily, I'll be like, was that corny or was I OC or am I in the wrong of this? And I realize most people don't even. That's not even a thought that comes to their brain. And the reason why is that they're protecting their psyche. So this dude was a big jack dude, and Andrew said something perfect in that exchange. So he was like, does this guy have money?" This the guy said to Andrew. Andrew's like, "No, I got a family and shit that I take care of. I don't drive supercars and shit. I don't even like supercars shit." That's what Andrew said. I'm very similar to that. Like I don't like that shit. Like I don't like a fancy BMW. Don't reduce shit for me. Like I got a classic car in the backyard right now. And I don't like, you know what I mean? So none of that, it doesn't, material stuff doesn't do that for me. And it's almost interesting to me how people that get that off of buying stuff, like you get that. Like my thing is, and it sounds like a cornball trying to be like answer. I genuinely like helping people. Like the thing I think I did for Riverside. If y'all haven't seen that video, I went back to my old high school, right? And shout out to the head coach CC, one of the young dogs that came in after I left. And it has that program. And yeah, the wins aren't there right now, but being in the school, being on the bus, being at the game, there's a couple takeaways I had. One of those kids respect the shit out that whole staff. T Free, Mac, all of them. But CC is implementing culture there. So when I got to the school, I'm like, the football players got polos on and black jeans. That's something that CC implemented. He has the history of all of the past players there. It's something that he's implementing. He said he's like, bro, I put them up every year. And it was a cool, and it was for, and it's literally for this reason. So I had a really good high school football career. Like probably one of the top ones in this school for sure. Um, Overall sports wise, I brought my Letterman jacket to my young dog. They was like, damn. But I don't brag about stuff. I don't brag about my accomplishments. My older sister that was actually in high school with me said, "You need to do this more." I don't talk about the things I've done because I didn't do it to get so people would talk about it. I did it because I genuinely love the things I do. If I don't love doing something, I don't do it, or it's very difficult for me to do it. But it was a young guy there, right? It was one of the young players. It was actually the quarterback. He ended up getting hurt. He's gonna be okay, but he ended up getting hurt in that game. And we were sitting by the entrance to the locker room, like inside the locker room, by the coach's office. People that know Riverside know. And he was like, "Oh, how good was you when you was here?" Because I asked him, I was like, "Who's number 2 on the team now?" He's like, "I don't think we got one." I was like, "He was like, how good was you was here?" And all I had to do was point to the poster, and the whole respect level changed from all of them. And because I don't go to those games like I was a college coach or I was a captain or I don't do that. I meet people. I want them to know me as the person. Like my accomplishments don't make me who I am. Who I am made me achieve those accomplishments. And that's the part where I think a lot of people get twisted on it. But what I realize is, and this is directly about the city here, most of the people that are movers and shakers here haven't been outside any of their bubbles. They either been Milwaukee or at like they don't have a diversity of opinion. They don't have a diversity anything because they've only been around Milwaukee and black people. So that they think that they're doing good, but they're really not. They're really destructive. Like the Diddy thing and all the celebrity things, like, am I glad it's happening? Yes. Because it's showing the character of black culture. It was a post I saw on Facebook, right? Some and this is allegedly, of course, he was accused of it. I don't know these people. I'm just reading the thread on Facebook. It was about a 35-year-old dude or something like that. And then the girl posted that her 13-year-old sister was, she was like, she was messing with a 35-year-old 13. I'm like, and in the comment section, it was more like, oh, that's OC, and like, not like this is fucking criminal, bro. So what I realized is black culture is okay with pedophilia. It's okay with murder. It's okay with all the stuff that. The reason why our rappers and stuff can do that because our black culture is okay with that. Like they're good with it. Like I remember being in high school and seeing like the older girl or the girls in my class getting picked up by 21, 22-year olds, 23-year olds, and they was 15, 16. I remember that. Like and I think all guys see that and they think they try to program us to be like, oh, that's how it's supposed to go. Like, no, it's not, bro. That's disgusting. Like, and I think for me it hits home because I have 3 sisters, 2 nieces, and both my nieces are Gen X or Gen Z, Gen Z. So like, it's just real life consequences to me because the thing with me, I don't play with my family. Um, I will. That's I crash out for my family. If they're in the right, I had to learn that because I had some of this janky stuff that I pressed some ex boyfriends from sisters, and I'm like, oh, she was OC. But besides that, like when you see what the black culture really represents, like I'm out, tapping out. I'm good with y'all. You can call me a sellout. You can say he trying to. Another post now on Facebook was like, "Oh, she talk white." Like, if you think that I talk white, one, you never been to the South, and two, you're just on the surface ignorant. Like, you're a type of black person that thinks white people are better than black people, and it's an internal hate. That's what that is. Like, it's no other response to that. Like, oh, you hate yourself. If me being able to articulate myself and talk and like communicate with the rest of the world is me acting white, what do you see acting black as? Because really, that's just normal behavior. Every race can do this. That's the part where like it confuses me. Where like black people are like, oh, we're so oppressed. I'm like, no, we just behave bad. Because it's hood white people, it's hood Asians, it's hood Arabs, like it's hood everybody. But all of them don't assume. Like what black culture is we adapt to the lower instead of the lower coming up to the higher. So, good example. You got a white kid from Stanford, right? And then you got 2 burnout kids that smoke weed and like party and stuff. It's like the stoner loner kids in high school, right? So we're talking about like an all white high school. If you take that white kid and put him around those stoner kids, he's gonna quickly know like, okay, that's not where I'm supposed to be at, and dissociate from them. Like I'm good. Like I don't really mess with y'all. That's not my group. In the black community now, and I experienced this myself. Like I was never like, if people really know my family ties, I could deep get into some shit. Like and it's there when I need it. I had to tell one of the homies, not one of the homies, one of the dogs, like the dude I used to do the podcast with, hit me up like, yo, you and dog situation ain't got nothing to do. And I didn't even read the end of the message because I don't care anymore because you're attached to that guy that just ruined some of my shit and owes me money. So I don't care what y'all got going on. You've known him for too long. You're out. And that's how I work. Because I'll separate myself from anything I see that's not positive. And I don't do, it's so many people that maneuver like women as men that like, they want to have I don't have to have a conversation about it. I made my decision and I moved on. Accept it. That's it. Like I'm not going back and forth. I'm not trying to be convinced. Like I don't give a fuck what y'all think. And that's the part where I don't give a fuck what y'all perceptions. I don't care. I don't. I truly don't. So it's not a real way to move me emotionally because I don't care. Like I don't. Like it's only if the people I care about, you have to earn that spot in my life. It's not like I just care about like, oh no, I'm not helping you. I have no reason to. Um, and I want to get on the negative side of that, but to finish the analogy, a black kid that's like good parents, went to a private school, whatever, when he gets around negative influences, he tries to impress the negative influence and make them think that, oh, I'm as tough as them and I'm as tough as them. And that's an epidemic of a lot of these people. That's why people get shot so much now, because people are afraid to fight because they're not really what they talk. It's easy to shoot somebody. It's hard to get into a fist fight. It's easy to shoot somebody from across the street instead of walking up to them and talk like, "Hey, man, what we doing? All right, let's throw them." And it's a lot easier to do it that way, and it's a coward's way out. Like that's why when I see these kids, I'm like, bro, it's just a bunch of women out here. Most of these little boys are just a bunch of women out here. That why do y'all think that they are so close to their boys? Like it's a lot of shit going on in the black community that people don't understand, bro. It's disgusting and it's been by design. Like a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And like I won't get too much into it for this podcast because this is like kind of family friendly ish. But the stuff that y'all would think is going on, and like for me, I've always been a mission driven person. So when I was playing football, my whole life was football. When I was in college, my whole life was that college like environment. I wasted so much time in college, though. That's the only regret I have. I wasted so much time and opportunity being around people that didn't even care about me at all, like at all. And I realized that they didn't care at all. Like I spent the last probably 10 to 15 years interacting with people that did not give a damn about me and neglecting the people that did give a damn about me. So when I flipped that, I think a lot of people were confused. Like I still love people. I love animals. It's certain people that I won't. If I not even people, certain energies and spirits that I will not interact with. I won't. And I don't care how you take it, how you feel. I don't. I will not interact with it. Why? Because it's nothing that's gonna be affected by my life positive or even neutral dealing with people like that. And that's the difficult part of all this, I think, for people. That they're I've always been a loner, I've always been an outsider. So I don't it does it hurt still a little bit, I guess, in the moment, but like I deal well with rejection now. Where I'm like, oh, okay. Even with females, like me and my sister had a we was having a conversation. I've been talking to my sister way more, which I love too. All of them, but it's one that we didn't have a real close relationship that we talk a lot more now. We did growing up, not as much now. But talking about dating, right? And I'm 35 and I'm single, and like that does play on my brain because like I feel like I should be at a place where I got a family, kids, responsibilities. But then I step back. I'm like 30-year-old Kenny tried that, and it almost killed him. It almost killed you. And they put you in positions. You had a woman put you in positions where it was constant danger, constant issues, constant drama. And I was talking about. She was like, "Yeah, don't give up on dating and stuff." I'm like, I don't really give up on dating. I'm just not a quantity person anymore. I don't care about the quantity. Like to for me to be serious in a relationship, I gotta see a woman and be like, wow, like it's gotta be that. If it's not wow, then I'm not gonna waste her time and I'm not gonna waste my time. So I'm cool with being single and not having no hoes, not talking to nobody. I'm cool with it because I that's not the life I want. And I'm gonna end this one because I got a couple things to do. And I know it's kind of a ramble, y'all, but this is what the Black Show's about. Take from it, take what resonates with you, as a tarot reader say. I want to be happy. Happy is a fleeting feeling, so happy comes and goes. My happy is a different kind of meaning. Like I can still be happy in terrible times. When stuff's going wrong, like a good example, again, I'll bring it back is to that studio situation. Most people would have been devastated, tried to fight, tried to go do something to do, tried to I don't retaliate. I don't. Because that person doesn't mean enough. The person isn't worth retaliation. A lot of people aren't worth my time to retaliate. And then they take that as, oh, you think you better than yes, I do. Because I wouldn't have did what you did. So yes, I am a better person than you. What? I'm going off of actions. I'm a better person than you. I wouldn't do that. That's stuff I wouldn't do. Like I realize a lot of people that don't have that I wouldn't do level. Like it's stuff that I wouldn't do. Am I the best person? Nah. I try to be pretty solid now. Historically, probably not, but I try to be pretty solid now. I've always been solid with people, but like I just made bad decisions and like stuff like that. But I I don't care to impress anybody. I don't care for the accolades. I don't care for the praise. Like music is going good now, right? I'm seeing my streams. Like it's the first time I've actually seen my streams on my UnitedMaster be in the hundreds per week. I'm like, oh shit, it's starting to catch. And I realized like if it does catch, I don't want Grammys and shit. I don't care. I just want to make money off my art. I don't need and I've always been that way with sports too. I don't need the recognition. The recognition and stuff is cool, but if you're doing stuff like this for the recognition, which a lot of these rappers here are doing, a lot of people in general are doing, not even here, just in general, for the recognition, like, that's a trauma wound that you need to heal in yourself. Like, and you're the reason why the music industry is how it is. People like you because you're easily taken advantage of. I've had deals get offered. I had a bunch of shit that happened this last year, man. And I turned it all down. Was that stupid? Maybe. I don't think so though. Like this is before all the Diddy and all that stuff. But if you listen back to my songs, I talk about this in a lot of my music. I talked about what was actually happening during that last couple years in my music, and I don't care for the attention no more. I took away this weekend, y'all. If I legit was like, I don't know if I'm gonna do the Black Show no more. I thought about it this weekend. I was like, I just don't want to do it. Like, and I realized why I didn't want to do it. I didn't want I wanted that privacy back in my life. But now I realize I do have a lot of my young dogs that are listening to these messages that are like actually taking from what they take from it. And it showed at that Riverside game I went to on Friday. So I got it. I'm gonna keep doing it. I do enjoy doing this show, but it's a level of this where it's like everything that I do or I've done has been perceived in a different way. Like it's always, and I get why because most people are janky as fuck, and I really didn't realize how janky people are. But everything is, what I realize is I don't get the benefit of the doubt of like what I'm saying is exactly what I mean, and it's everybody has an angle and a motive, and I just refuse to participate in a society like that. I refuse to participate in a city like that. Like again, I was having a conversation with my sister. I was like, I'm so detached. Even the people that I enjoyed in Milwaukee that I like, hey, I think that person's cool. Even now, I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I don't want to deal with y'all. I don't want no conversation. I don't want none of that stuff. I had a podcast interview I was gonna do with one of the local people here that's doing stuff in the community. I think on the service it looks like he's doing stuff in the community. I canceled it. And I blamed it on my studio, But it really wasn't that. It's like, bro, I'm not on what y'all on. I'm not. I'm not, bro. And like, I don't care how much they like people try to like make what I'm on as a negative, but like I see frauds. I see it. And I'm not lever I don't need nobody for nothing. I don't need y'all. I don't need people for like my platform or none of that stuff. So like I just if I don't like you, I won't have you on here. And there's no hard feelings, but like I can see the inauthenticity in people. And once I see it, it's over. Like that situation I just went through with the studio y'all. Like from the second session we had, I knew homie was on bullshit, and I started dissing myself, trying to figure out a way to make it to where I can almost by myself maneuver that and just have it operate. Homie was on some weird shit. I don't know if he was paid to do that. I don't know if he was told to do that. I don't know what it was in that. I don't know who dog working with, or I don't know what they got going on behind the scenes there. But it's all crashing. It's all crashing. And I don't even check in on that. I just know that's how it goes. And if it's not crashing, good for you. But it's all crashing down. This is my final message for the people today. Then I'm gonna go get about my day. 8:30. Treat people how you want to be treated. And if you do that, life is good. That's pretty much it. All right, y'all. It is again October 14th, 2024. My name is Kenny Kamz, and this is the Black Show. I'm out, y'all. Peace. Have a good week.
I want where she at though. I ain't got the best record looking back though. I'm on watch though, everywhere we at though. I'm all in, girl, ain't no looking back though. Yeah, my love life is a disaster. Got me in the scripture again. I thought she'd be the last one. Hey, I'm all in and I play for the win. Here comes Satan again. I'm tired of Jezebel. Hey, I've seen that before. Girl, it's not a game. I'm tired of trying to figure out what's behind the door. We too grown for that. I'm childlike but not childlike. Experience enough dark, I need light. We like. She probably realized that she f***ed up. Around now, I guess your luck's up, no lick back now. We don't get back now. Email to the spam, we don't click that now. And we blocked them accounts on the route to the green. Then we weeded out the plants, and now we seeing growth. So, and I was like,